Well, hey y'all, welcome back to Doug's Cars. Got a new video for you today that's also not a new video. So if you saw my last video, Days of Thunder, when I drove my i3 around the track, I had an issue with my video where I could not find the files that my small camera, my front-facing camera, recorded. And unfortunately, I wasn't able to bring those to you, but I found them. They were saved in a different part of the folder from where they usually were saved for some reason, under a date from 2018. I don't know why or how that happened, but I'm now able to bring you the full video. I'm going to keep the old one up, but what you're now going to be watching is a lot of that content, but with the forward-facing camera, which just makes such a difference. It's so much cooler to watch forward-facing than just watching me jawing when I'm driving the car. So stay tuned for that. It's just going to be a lot of fun. We're racing under the lights. Robin's racing! Well, hey y'all, welcome back to Doug's Cars. You may notice by the change of scenery that I'm not actually in an old Range Rover today. I'm not sure what's going on, but as I like to bring other content to you, not just Range Rover stuff, although I really do enjoy putting Range Rovers on, and I don't have anything new to present right now, but I do have an opportunity today to drive at Richmond International Raceway on the 3/4 mile oval. And they don't care what you bring, and why wouldn't I bring my daily driver, which is a 2015 BMW i3 without the gas motor. It's just the base electric motor. I managed to pick this up as a CPO a couple years ago, almost exactly to the day, real cheap with like 6,000 miles on it, and I drive it to work every day. I drive it around town. It's so easy to park. It accelerates instantly, and it's just a lot of fun to drive. And so I'm gonna drive this on the track because that's just ridiculous. Now, I don't think they're gonna let us go as fast as we want. I would be very surprised if they do that. I do know a buddy of mine and I were in this car when we were in Mexico City in it, and we had it up to 98 miles an hour. But again, in Mexico City, where that stuff's legal, not anywhere else, where you can't do that. It's advertised as 100 miles an hour, but there were two of us in the car, and we both had a big breakfast, so maybe that's why. But if we are allowed to go faster, I will happily oblige and see if I can get this to the mark of 100. I don't think so. It was fully charged when I left. The downfall of these early i3s is the range is absolutely terrible. I've got 49 miles and I've driven like 5 miles. It's 42 degrees out, so the heat's on, that saps the power, and the batteries just don't do very well anyway when it's cold out or when it's hot out. So again, I just drive this around town. I picked it up for a song, so the amount of money that I'm basically spending on it monthly is what I was paying for gas, and now I'm not paying for that at all. And I've really enjoyed this car. I bought it as an experiment. I've had it for 2 years now, and I can't imagine not having it, although I have other cars that, you know, make lots of noise and can be more fun to drive. So I'm gonna keep driving. I should be at the track here in just a couple minutes. It's about 4 o'clock. They're supposed to let us also do it under the lights. I'm gonna see what that's like and see if it's worth doing. But as soon as I get there, I'm hoping to get it on the track, and I'll throw my front camera up too and get you some video of that. Well, they waved me in, and I'm driving through the tunnel that the drivers go through to go to the infield, and I guess all the tractor trailers and all, but this is kind of cool. Ooh, got dark. And I've never done this before. I've been here many, many times, but I've never driven here. So this is really neat. Yeah, this is pretty cool. It was 20 bucks. Like, this is totally worth every single cent, and I'm definitely enjoying it. All right, let's see what kind of cars we have over here. I see a bunch of folks pulling up. I was behind a red Silverado, which makes sense. There's some Camaros. There's a Monte Carlo, like a Dale Earnhardt special, a red C5 Corvette, a 7 Series. How's it going? How you doing? All right.
First one of these I've seen all day. I'm excited.
Yeah, I was like, I have other cars. Like, I gotta bring this. This is the best thing to bring to the track because it's so ridiculous. But
yeah, it's electric, right?
Yeah, totally.
Pickup
Yeah.
is just
Oh, it's instant.
automatic.
Yeah, instant. It doesn't have top speed,
Yeah,
like, but instant takeoff. Yeah. So.
So just for the track laps, correct? Not
Yes.
working?
Correct.
You could go right behind the truck.
The red Chevy. All right.
Don't make them look too bad, okay?
Okay.
I just saw past
is turning out to be pretty interesting. The guy in front of me and his kids had come a couple years back in his dad's Porsche, and he said the pace car led them around at about 80, but then subsequently they got to go pretty much as fast as they wanted. Now he's in a red Chevy Silverado that I mentioned a moment ago. They've started to let some people go. There's some really cool stuff here. There's a dude here with like an 89 Chevy long bed with firewood in the back strapped down. I'm so glad I'm not behind him. You might be able to hear some vehicles go by that are a lot louder than mine, but this is going to be interesting. Hopefully the next scene you see will be me entering the track for the first time ever. I've come here way more than a dozen times for events. NASCAR usually, you know, Grand National and Winston Cup, whatever they call it now. I can't keep track of that stuff, but that's what I'd always think of them as. And then, you know, they've had Indy races here too, and they're having one again, I believe, here in the spring, which would be nice. But to actually be on the track that I've sat next to for the last 20 some years will be pretty cool. Oh, they're starting to come around, but this is the group with the truck full of wood, and that's what I'm waiting to come around. I bet he's going to be at the end. Oh, that sounds good. There's the Avalon. Sport track. There's the wood truck. Oh, look at the CB antenna. So I'm behind a late model Silverado, a Kia hatchback, a 7 Series, fairly late model, but not an F Series, 7 Series, and a Z06 C5, which is going to sound fantastic, I'm sure. And the sun is right in our faces, and there is a Nissan Rogue behind me. And looks like an E46. Oh, and the folks I was talking to, cool, they made it out on my round. They are in a Volvo V70, whatever, station wagon. Here we go. This is hilarious. I'm just sticking behind the Silverado. This thing, as I said, has a top speed of like 99 miles an hour under the best conditions. So I'm going 42 right now behind him. This is also more on the bankings. Oh man, what a blast. 49, 51. It's windy out today too, so that's not helping things. There's the finish line, nice. Could do some donuts right there. Oh boy. This is the best 20 bucks I've spent in a long time, I can tell you that much. 55, 56. And the traction control is coming on. That's hilarious. Why is that? It must be because of the banking. It doesn't like it. And I can go on the straight, but the traction control was coming on the... That's hilarious. Why was the traction control coming on? How was this thing getting squirrely at 50 miles an hour? That's hilarious. What? All right, there's 70, 75. I'll go ahead and slow down some now because the guy in front of me is. He's got his little kids with him in his Silverado, so I'm not trying to do anything crazy with him up there. I don't even know what lap I'm on. You could probably count along better than I can. I'm too busy doing this and trying not to do anything stupid, but... Oh man. Oh, I can see that E46 back there. The Volvo wagon. Oh. They say they do this regularly. I just happened to get an email about this like yesterday. And I was going, really? Like they sent this out the day before. You think they'd plan it better for things that are planned here all the time, year in, year out. And I just went ahead and bought the $20 ticket and came here to do my 5 laps. And you can buy more. I might do this again after dark, depending on how many people are here, because the lights are now on, but it's not quite dark yet. This might be fun to do after dark. Turn 2. Mashing the throttle. Yep, 75, 76. It's about all I can get up to on those straights because I got somebody in front of me too. But, and you know, this thing has instant torque right from the get-go, but once you're already moving, it just doesn't have the same acceleration possibility. It just can't do that. All right, here we go. 78, 79, 80, 81, and slowing down again. Don't want to hit the Eat Virginia Peanut sign there on the wall. Let's see, I'm coming 55 out of this corner. Oh, looks like we're slowing down and going in, so that must have been the last lap. It is tough to race here in the sun, I will say that. I know they do a lot of night racing here, but man, you know, late autumn, whatever, I guess we are, early autumn, with that sun coming right at you over the berm, that's tough. Well, those were the 5 laps. I'm gonna see how many people over there. I might have to go buy 5 more laps to do after dark. That could be fun. I've got 44 miles left on the car, so that should be enough to do another 5 laps and drive home and have enough to left over to make it. So, all right, we're going back into, I guess, the paddock. Well, y'all, here's try number 2. Sorry, it's cold out. My lips are frozen, but we've been standing outside talking cars for the last hour waiting for our next line here, and it's fully dark now. I'm behind the 7 Series I was behind earlier, and these Camaros just went out. They were amazing. There was this awesome 80s Monty that was like a straight line drag car. It just sounded fantastic, and there was a Viper out that just was sounding so good, and here I am making absolutely no noise, but man, this is fun. So we're going on, I guess I'm not taking tickets this time. Don't need that then. Here we go. Pace car's going out on the track. I've got 41 miles left, and I'm about to turn the heated seats on because I'm freezing. Woo. Here we go, here we go. I will definitely not be making sounds like everybody else was. There were 6 or 8 new, like, whatever generation, the modern generation Camaros out before, and they all had aftermarket exhaust. They sounded really good. The guy in front of me's got a 740 Li. That would sound good, but I don't think it's going to be very loud. And then there's like a Chevy pickup behind me, the smaller one. The key is back up in front again. It looks like they're taking off now. They had to change things a bit because people were trying to run side by side, and you know, they were just ruining it for everybody. So now they've got 2 pace cars out, and they're kind of holding people together a little bit more. But hey, we're racing under the lights. Robin's racing. At least that's what they told me in the Tom Cruise movie. So had to do that to kind of warm up a bit because I am frozen solid. 55, 50, 60, 63. Now the guy in front of me said he saw 80 as well when he was out here. But I don't know if we're going to now because we're kind of following the Camry pace car now more so than last time. It's interesting because I'm only driving with 1 pedal, of course, because you don't really ever use the brakes in these. And I can modulate the throttle nicely by just doing that. Okay, here's going straight here, 70, 74. All right, I'm backing off now. Down to 70, 62 again. Back down here at the bottom of the track. 55, taking the corner. And I'm just hanging back from him. And we still have the Kia out front, which is fantastic. The red Kia, like, those folks were great. I was talking to them earlier because we were in line together. They went out and got like a couple sandwiches and some fries and just sat there with the heat on, like watching everybody eating their supper. And they're like, yeah, we're in a Kia, that's awesome. And I agree, it's just so cool. Run what you brung. I could have brought the Range Rover, that would have been fun, but hey, this is the most ridiculous car that's out here, except for those 2 station wagons with Christmas tree lights on the roof, but what a fun. Into the corner. Man, these seats could use some bolstering. I'm really entering the corners at like 55 miles an hour, coming in here behind the Toyota Camry pace car, which is probably, you know, set for us. Obviously, all of us, these cars out here could do more than that, but, and then getting up to, let's see, can I get to 80? There's 80, and slowing down again. So I did get to 80 again, nice. The M4 would have been a blast out here. I will admit that if you haven't watched some of my earlier videos, I do actually also have an M4 that is my weekend and fun car. It's a manual. It was a low option car, so I was able to pick it up as a CPO with relatively high miles for a great deal a couple years back. And it's a lot of fun. It doesn't get a whole lot of use because I drive this a whole lot. And I really toyed with bringing it out here because this is exactly the kind of thing where an M4 is going to shine. But you know what? This is hilarious. I have had a blast bringing this car here. Everybody who saw it was like, I haven't seen one of these out here. That's so cool. Like, why? It's so cool you brought that. And like I said in the first laps, if you can find a way to do this in your neck of the woods, do this. 20 bucks. Okay, I came out twice. It was 40 bucks. But hey, when else do you get to drive where Dale Jr. drove, where you name it? Even the stupid Bush brothers, I can't stand them, but yeah, they drive out here twice a year. And I've been out here, and I've watched them from those stands, but now I'm out here, I know what the track is like, and I think that makes me a NASCAR driver. And on that bombshell, I'm gonna end this because we're going into the paddock here, and I'm gonna head on home and grab a bite to eat. So thanks y'all so much for watching as I end this video on the track here at RIR. Keep subscribing. I'm almost to 1,000. I really wanna get there before the end of the year. I want to start making some money off of these videos so I can bring you more awesome content. And stay tuned if you're here for the Range Rover content, because there'll be more of that coming soon. I got the power steering pipe today. I'm going to get that repaired and try to get that thing back on the road nicely. So have a wonderful day, and thanks so much for watching Doug's Cars.